The year 2023 is going to be very important for the PI network for a number of reasons, one of which being the possibility of broad adoption. As the world continues to become more digital, there will be an ever-increasing demand for payment systems that are both decentralized and safe. The mining process has become easier and less time-consuming over the years, which has led to new heights of innovation in the blockchain. The Pi cryptocurrency is a crypto initiative that attempts to provide users with a new form of payment that has all of the advantages and more while avoiding Bitcoin drawbacks. The fact that Pi currently has no official value, yet its IOU on exchanges has a big potential to exceed even Binance Coin, BNB. Hello guys, welcome back to CryptoConnex. If you have interest in anything and everything related to Pi network or cryptocurrency at large, then this is the best place for you. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button so that we can keep you up to date with the latest Pi network news and all its predictions, and also stay one step ahead of the competition in the world of cryptocurrencies. Because the Pi network team's goal is to have a fully functional network that is ready for widespread adoption by the year 2023. The infrastructure for the Pi network is now being developed. This is the first reason why this is happening. This will be an important step in the completion of the project and will enable the Pi network to support a wide variety of new applications. The cooperation between members of the Pi network is currently being strengthened. This will make a contribution to the network's success in the long run. The Pi network's ecosystem is still undergoing construction and development. This will be an important benchmark for the project, and it will guarantee that the network will be valuable and helpful to a wide variety of users. They are working toward the goal of having a variety of application services constructed on top of the network. Buying and selling, which is presently not authorized by the network developers, has recently increased among pioneers from across a variety of countries, which indicates that pioneers and investors are finding the Pi coin to be more appealing. Some significant data shows that the phone-based cryptocurrency mined by the Pi network has seen an increase in its usage, that is, in buying and selling volume. In spite of the recent operations that have been carried out by the core team, which investors don't seem to be very concerned about, this new development has taken place. In spite of these activities, there has been a significant increase in the number of transactions involving the acquisition of Pi coins. This leads one to believe that there is a growing interest in the token among pioneers and investors. This may be read as a bullish indicator for Pi coins, since it implies that the general attitude of the cryptocurrency market toward the Pi coins is getting more favorable, which is truly fantastic news for everyone who is a pioneer. The price of Pi network coins has fluctuated quite a little over the past few months, and these changes have been both frequent and significant. Pi network coins are becoming increasingly well known, however, because mining them is rather simple. Some early adopters and investors are proceeding with extreme caution when it comes to the Pi network currency because of the potential unpredictability of the token's price performance and also its launch date. In spite of this, there has been a recent spike in the amount of transactions on the purchasing and selling, which may signal that investors are growing more confident about the token's future. The growing demand for Pi coin is a positive indicator for the token because it shows that investors are starting to regard it as a more attractive investment opportunity. This is a good thing for the token because it indicates that the Pi coin is becoming more widely used. This is an encouraging turn of events that the community ought to respond to with enthusiasm. Those who were among the first to work in the decentralized finance DeFi industry might benefit from a specialized service that Pi Cyber offers. Pioneers are able to make purchases of Wi-Fi zones with their Pi through the use of the e-commerce platform. Users who do not have sufficient access to the internet are able to utilize the application by authenticating themselves through the Pi network and browsing the various available Wi-Fi zones. Pioneers can pay using their Pis and gain access to the internet so long as the zone is open. According to the Midway plan that was presented during the hackathon that is now taking place, the protocol's goal is to enable access to the internet to everyone. According to Pi Cyber developer Fulano, our goal is to build a simple and secure solution for users to utilize their Pi coin to purchase Wi-Fi zones, which may be used to access the internet in locations that do not have traditional internet connection. Pi Cyber, which is now engaged in the phase of development known as development, has completed the infrastructure of the application's backend. The team is actively working on the design of the user interface, UI, as well as the connection for Pi payments. The user interface, UI, and Pi payment integration for the protocol will be completed within the remaining hours of the hackathon. After that, the protocol will be tested on a limited number of users to ensure that it is safe to use. The Pi Network Midway submission is geared toward the teams and individual creators of projects that are taking part in the currently active hackathon. The Pi Core team is responsible for the development of the initiative that will assess the progress that participants have made halfway through the hackathon. In addition, anyone that submit their work in compliance with the rules will be rewarded with Pi local currency for their efforts. The functioning of the Pi browser program can be investigated once again by pioneers during this interim period. The value of the Pi network coin generally moved in a downward direction over this time period. On February 11th, the price of Pi dropped by over 7%, reaching a daily low of $51. The price of Pi then started to rise again a short time later. In the 4-hour chart, the increase in the price of Pi coin has been trading below a barrier formed by a falling trend line. In addition to this, the 24H exponential moving average creates a dynamic resistance, red wave. If the price of the Pi network token starts to go up, the decreasing trend line that's been hanging out around $55.4 will act as a ceiling for the Pi coin price. A mechanism requiring parental consent could be developed by the core team in order to enable later completion of KYC by miners. It is expected that every pioneer will take part in the KYC process. However, due to the fact that the age of consent in the United States is set at 12, it is strongly recommended that children under the age of 12 do not register a Pi account. In order to fill out the KYC form, an individual must also be at least 18 years old. Should the core team option to take into mind this recommendation and include parental consent capabilities for young pioneers, it will ultimately save parents money on maintenance fees because their children will receive digital assets at such a young age. They need to provide them with guidance so that they do not mistreat them. The Know Your Customer (KYC) procedure is one of the most important processes that must be completed before switching to the open mainnet on the Pi network. Because to a number of factors, including this specific exercise, the migration of users from the Pi network to the open mainnet has been delayed. When a parent or other legal guardian gives their unequivocal blessing for their child to participate in a certain activity, they are providing what is known as parental consent. A consent form that parents are required to sign on their child's behalf as part of the parental consent elements could be included. Add the name of the kid, the date and place of the child's birth, information from the child's passport and, if necessary, the name of the child's parent or legal guardian, custody details, and passport information. According to the white paper for the Pi network, the goal of the network is to adhere to the first principle of cryptocurrencies, which was proposed by Satoshi Nakamoto, the pseudonymous developer of the Bitcoin. The financial power of the people is supposed to be restored as a result of this. This is the primary impetus behind the project's creation. The goal of the Pi network is to create a user-secured and user-managed platform for smart contracts. The Pi utility token will make it possible for the protocol to achieve its goal of developing the peer-to-peer P2P marketplace that is the most inclusive one ever developed. Because large corporations have joined the Pi network, it is now under pressure to focus on decentralizing digital assets completely within the Bitcoin network, which is widely considered to be the most important of all digital asset networks. Because it is so difficult to mine Bitcoin, the only people who are able to validate transactions in exchange for the network's tokens are those who have a large amount of financial resources. The Pi network's goal is to develop a strong protocol that is compatible with mobile devices, such as smartphones. That's all for now. Kindly support my channel by pressing the subscribe and notification bell.